The Hakim Littleton shooting, justified or brutality? Look, there have been a lot of shootings and a lot of claims of police brutality and a lot of claims of racism. The Kyle Rittenhouse thing that happened in Kenosha was really bad, and they claimed that that he was a white supremacist or is, and I'm not going to talk about that one in this video. I'll do a separate video for that. I just want to talk about this. It said, another case of police brutality in the case of Hakim Littleton is what was being claimed 3 weeks after the fact. I call bullshit. Before that claim, which I received via email from Color of Change, the claims that he was unarmed when shot caused protests that resulted in police being insulted and having things thrown at them, and they were forced to use tear gas, all because of liars. As I told Color of Change before I told them to remove me from their email list, I'd already removed myself from the BLM email list due to the same problems. Their inaccurate reporting of the event as an unjustified shooting, their inaccurate portrayal of the situation as a shooting followed by Hakim being disarmed and then executed, is not consistent with the 2 videos available. One video is apparently from a police vehicle and the other from a body cam. It was all done in 5 seconds. They didn't mention that the police were there to arrest his friend for an outstanding warrant. He didn't resist and is still alive. Not him. Or that he foolishly drew when there were at least 7 police visible in the video. They didn't mention that the cop he attempted to murder at point-blank range was black, because of course that doesn't work without being able to use the claim of racism. They also didn't mention that one of the cops, probably the one who killed him, was also black. Again, you can only play the racist card if the cop isn't black. In short, Hakim, which is Arabic for judge, pulled and fired a gun at point-blank range at an approaching officer as he turned to run, and then a second shot, and was then shot at and hit 4 times as the following happened. He was shot by the police nearby. One cop far left in the videos was detaining a suspect and wasn't involved. His intended victim pulled his weapon as he charged Hakim. As Hakim went down, the black cop he tried to remove the head of came down on top of him, striking his head hard with his pistol, at which point Hakim rolled his upper body to the left to try and shoot at either the man on him or the approaching shooter, and then the cop is off him in seconds. In the body cam video, you can see he's still got his pistol in his hands as he rolls over to fire again. The cops then either took evasive action or continued approaching. He was dead, and he got what he deserved for trying to shoot multiple police. It seems he was judged appropriately. He's dead. Now, you may say, oh, that was police brutality that the cop hit him so hard on the back of his head. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It was criminal brutality that the guy tried to shoot his head off. So he got what he deserved. Tyrone Magnus, a popular black YouTuber, released a video saying that Hakim got what he deserved too. In case you're not aware, he also condemned the shooting of George Floyd. Other black commentators have also sided with the police in the matter of Hakim's death. And I put in the article that this video is based on, I put links to some videos from various black commentators about this Hakim Littleton execution. If you pull a gun and shoot at cops at short range, and there are several, you should expect to be seriously wounded or dead. Anyone who makes claims about an execution, etc., are just pumping false news out and have a treasonous agenda to sow the seeds of dissent and civil unrest in the U.S. while misleading the world. The same thing was done in Nazi Germany repeatedly and is being done again in Germany and other countries by fringe groups and lunatics. It really bothered me that the Color of Change email distorted the events, didn't fully reveal what happened, and provided irrelevant references at the end of their email, not even providing a link to the video which they claim exists and proves that the cops lied. I've watched both videos from the police footage, and their statement doesn't reflect the truth except in a way that supports civil unrest. They didn't even bother to be accurate in stating that the event occurred 3 weeks beforehand. The email is shown below. If you look at my article, okay, I'm not going to read the whole, I'll read it later. Just watch the videos that I included in my article and compare them with the statements in the email, and you'll see what's up in the videos. I love what the BLM organization claims that they are trying to do, but I do not like their tactics, and I have spoken to blacks who feel the same way. The members of BLM use phrases that mislead and divide, including Black Lives Matter. It should include too, as in Black Lives Matter too. That's a point of contention for a lot of people. It doesn't say too. It's as if no other lives matter, and that's why the All Lives Matter thing started. Because it seems to be ignoring Hispanics. It seems to be ignoring Asians. It seems to be ignoring whites. And anybody else you can think of. And the members of BLM speak and write about police brutality and racism in a way that implies that all police do it, when it is neither nationally systemic, something engaged in by the majority of white police, nor even a problem in some cities. They claim to be addressing many issues, but I only hear about police brutality and racism. And they and BLM members seem to often distort the truth, resulting in a lot of angry people that sometimes escalates into riots, looting, arson, and worse. Look at Portland. I'm sorry, but I've removed myself from the BLM and Color of Change email lists, and I withdraw my support of them. They send out too much biased and false information designed to create anger, riots, and violence. They do not deserve support. Please join me in condemning organizations like these that are causing chaos and destabilizing the U.S. by dividing us through false reporting and activism designed to create civil unrest. And the same goes for the media and the politicians. I'm looking at you, Tony Evers. I continue to support all my brothers and sisters worldwide, regardless of gender, race, creed, religion, etc., as long as you do no harm. There's a nonviolent way to overthrow a government, okay? Get a clue. Okay, the letter I received that I was so unhappy about that I wrote this was from Scott Roberts of Color of Change. It was sent to me a couple of months ago. I wrote the article pretty much right away after researching. It says, Hakim Littleton was shot from behind and murdered by Detroit officers. Yeah, he was shot from behind after he tried to blow the head off of a cop that was coming toward him. He turned and tried to run, and then he was shot. Well, duh. He shot twice, and then on the ground he continued to shoot. Justice for Hakim was the hashtag. Demand Hakim's killers are held accountable. For what? Demand justice. I'm sorry, Sherlock, we can't play right now. That's my cat. Demand justice, Glenn. It has happened again, this time in Detroit. A black man was ruthlessly murdered by rogue cops. On July 10th, Hakim Littleton's friend was being arrested by a swarm of cops. Sorry, just a second here. I have a small problem with the display of my email. It is done in such a way that it makes it hard for me to see the whole thing. But that's okay. I've just resolved that problem. Okay. On July 10th, Hakim Littleton's friend was being arrested by a swarm of cops, and in the process, Hakim drew a gun, shot at an officer, and ultimately missed. After Hakim was tackled, disarmed, and lay face down on the ground, he was repeatedly shot, and one officer even shot him in the back of the head at point-blank range. All right, look, maybe there's another video that I haven't seen yet, but the two videos I saw from police footage, he was shot before he was disarmed and lay face down on the ground. And, it's bullshit, okay? Well, we'll never know why Hakim drew the gun. He will never be able to tell what was going through his mind as officers swarmed them that day. But we do know that Hakim should still be alive. He did not deserve to be executed at point-blank range by the very people who swear to protect us. Hakim's murder was a public execution. We demand accountability for the officers, the police chief, and the entire Detroit Police Department for our black brother. Add your name to the petition to demand justice for Hakim. Despite how carelessly the cops sprayed bullets at Hakim, Detroit Police Chief James Craig has spewed lies to the media, misrepresented what happened the day Hakim was murdered, and continues to conspire against Hakim by referring to the officers as heroes. The department even tried to hide the additional video footage that clearly shows Hakim was shot multiple times from behind as he lay face down on the ground. Where's the video? It's referred to, but there's no link. The video wasn't released until local activists and community members demanded the footage more than a week later. Don't know where it is. This callous behavior is nothing new for the Detroit Police Department. The Detroit Police were once the most deadly and notorious police department in the country. They lead the nation's largest cities in the rate of fatal shootings by police. In just a 5-year span from 1995 to 2000, okay, that was, 20 years ago? They murdered 40 people. Oh, okay. Were they all murdered? Was there resistance? Was there shooting from the criminals? No information there, but they murdered 40 people. While that number has decreased. Oh, it has. Huh. It was only due in part to the federal oversight they were placed under due to the overwhelming amount of police violence. That's a supposition, not supported by facts in their letter. And more recently, the city of Detroit has had to pay out tens of millions of dollars in police misconduct lawsuits as a result of persistent police brutality. Hashtag Justice for Hakim signed the petition to hold the entire Detroit Police Department accountable for murdering Hakim Littleton. The whole police department? At Color of Change, we have run far too many campaigns against the Detroit Police Department, and that's a testament to how violent their police force is. How many is far too many? 1? 10? 100? 1,000? Just a few weeks ago, while protesters rallied to put an end to police violence, Detroit police drove their SUVs into the crowd of protesters, showing a blatant disregard for their lives. Even against the backdrop of a global uprising against police violence, Detroit officers won't stop abusing and murdering people. Okay. We deserve to breathe and live free of persistent police violence. I agree with you. We deserve to have our loved ones come home at the end of the day. Yes, as long as they're not trying to kill police and resisting arrest. We are tired. Well, I get that. I'm tired too. Black Detroiters are tired. Well, okay, I can understand. Detroit's been messed up for a long time. We demand accountability, and we're demanding it at every level. I demand accountability from you, Color of Change, for the bullshit you wrote in this letter. That's why we're calling on Mayor Mike Dugan, or Prosecutor Kim Worthy, and Attorney General Dana Nessel to release the officers' names, fire them, launch an independent investigation, and Mayor Dugan to fire Chief James for his handling of the case. That's an awful lot. Add your name now to demand justice. Until justice is real. Scott, Rashad, Arisha, Erica, Malachi, Mary Beth, Madison, Leonard, Ernie, Michaela, and the rest of the Color of Change team. And there are the 3 references listed at the bottom. But no link to that supposedly suppressed video about the cops shooting him in the back after he was down. Yeah. So I hope you can see where there is very little factual backing of their statements, that their statements do not correspond with the videos. And further, their statements are designed to incite anger, to stir people up emotionally. It's basically a lot of rhetoric and supposition and subjective statements, if not, and outright lies. And it really upsets me, because black people do deserve justice. But Hakim Littleton got justice. And these people are claiming otherwise. Please go ahead and look at my video if you want to see the links I provided to the different commentators. Thank you very much, and have a great and safe life.